Assalamu alaikum dear students. In the series of learning C programming, till now we have covered every major concept in C. Now we have left with some minor concepts in C, and in today's video we are going to discuss one minor concept of C, a small concept of C, that is the enum in C. In today's video we will discuss what is enum, why do we need enum, how to use the enum, how to define the enum, and how to declare the variables of enum. Every single detail regarding the enum data type will be discussed in today's video very minutely and thoroughly. So our today's topic is enum. First, so what is enum? Actually, the enum is the user-defined data type. What is enum? Enum is the user-defined data type. Just as the structure is a union-defined data type, union is a union-defined data type. In the same way, the enum is also a user-defined data type. That means the user defines this data type as per according to his need. And what actually enum does, enum is used to assign the value names to their integral constants. The main purpose of enum is to assign the names to integral constants. So the main purpose of this enum data type is that it is used to assign the names to integral constants. Just as I hope you have known that these things, that if we use, for example, in macros we use hash define max 50. Actually, when we write this macro, what maximum size, that is 50, is going to be assigned. This 50 is the size number, and the name to 50, the name assigned to 50 is max. Whenever later we use this max in the program, automatically this max is going to be replaced by this 50. So here we use, instead of this number, we use the name that has been assigned to this max, this constant, because 50 is also an integral constant, it is a constant. By using this concept, by using their names instead of the numbers, by using their names rather than numbers, it increases the readability of the program. So enum is also increases the readability of the program, and also enum is useful, or we can say, by using the names rather than the constants, numbers, it makes the maintenance of the program easy. That means the maintenance of the program becomes very easy. For example, if I write a program, if you write a program, your own program, and you use in the program, instead of numbers, you use names. Instead of numbers, you use names. And later, if your program is used by some other person, it will become very simple or easy to that person to understand that program, to read that program, because the names are easy to understand than the numbers. In a real life, for example, if in our class there are the students, for example, the name of the student is Javed, and the roll number assigned to Javed is 50. For example, if I call roll number 50, stand up roll number 50. As the roll number 50, Javed knows that his roll number is 50, still he will think, here, whose roll number is 50? Yes, my roll number is 50. There he will think, he will inquire whether my roll number is 50 or not in his mind. But rather than if I call Javed, stand up, and simply he will stand up. So it is easy to call someone through their names rather than the numbers. In the same way here, if we use names in the program rather than the numbers, that program is become understandable. That is easy to understand. That is easy to maintain. So these names, we can say these names increases the readability of the program. That is why we use the enum or we use these macros in the program. But there is difference between the enum and the macros, and that difference will also be discussed in this video as well. So now enum is the user-defined data just as the structure. For example, if we define a structure, we can write simply subtract, then name of the structure, for example, student, and then here semicolon, and then here is the name of the variables and name of the functions. That is the body of the structure. We have already discussed the structures in the previous videos. We have also uploaded that video. And later, if we want to declare the variable of this structure, we simply write here complete name, subtract student, for example, S1. So S1 is the variable of this subtract student type. Here complete subtract student is the data type, user-defined data type. In the same way, we define the enum. For example, here in the subtract we write enum. How to define a structure? Here, this enum. How to define the enum? Here in the this subtract keyword is the enum. And now after that we write the name of this enum. For example, here we can write month, and that is. And in month later, for example, month for example, January, Feb, March, April, APR, May, June, July, August. But that is it. And here, end of the statement. After this, here is the end of the statement. And this is how we define the structure. Here I have defined the structure. This enum is the name, you can say enum is the keyword which is used to define the enum data type, and month is the name of this enum data type. So name of enum. These are the June, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. For example, now I am going to here declare the variable of type enum, just as we declare the variable of type structure. So here simply I will write enum, then month, and complete. This enum month complete is the name of the data type, user-defined data type. Here I will write, for example, variable I am going to be this month, and that is it. This month is the name of the variable of type enum. So it is, this month is a user-defined variable here, data. Complete enum month is the user-defined data type, which is used to assign the names to the integral constants. Here, for example, if we write here, what does this mean? Enum month. That means this month is a variable. This variable can take any of these possible values. For example, Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August. It can take any of these possible values. Just like, for example, if we write int a, this means this a will take any of the values from integers. It may be 0, it may be negative, it may be positive. A can take any values from integers. In the same way, this month can take any values from these, which has been defined here. January, February, March, April. For example, if we write this month, if we initialize this month equal to June, Jan. And I am going to later this month equal to Jan. It is correct. Now it can take any values, any possible values from these. Then the variable of enum can take any values from defined in that data type. For example, if we define the enum data structure, data type for direction. Direction is only for north, south, east, and west. Direction can be any one, either north, either south, either west, or either east. So in the sense here, in this case, this month can take this month. This month can be January, it can take February as well. For example, later Feb, I can also March. For example, if I assign here, for example, this month Feb, I will write this month September. It is not possible. It is not. It is invalid because I have not in definition part of this data structure. I have not included here September, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and August. Up to August, September is not included in these values. So it is not allowed. It is not possible. While we are going to assign the values to the variables of this enum data type. So we can say in simple words, we can say the variable of the enum can take any values from defined in that data type structure. So it is user defined data type. And by default, take care. By default, this month is the name of variable, this month. By default, the compiler will assign the integer values it from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. By default, compiler will assign the values from 0, first to 0, then second, 2, 3, 4, 5. For example, if I put here, and first I am going to assign this month equal to Jan. For example, January. And later, I am going to print it percentage the Jan. Simple output will be 0 because by default, the compiler is assigning numbers to it, starting from 0. First 0, then second, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 7. Okay. I can also modify this. For example, if I, instead of Jan, here, I am going to May. And later, I am going to print the value at May. But what value is going to be assigned by the compiler? And it will print me 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Simply. I can change also this order. I can change this order. Any order. I can change also this order. Manually, I can change. For example, if I assign here Jan equal to 4, for example, what will happen? I have changed their default values. By default, the compiler assign is 0 first. The first member of this enum assign is 0. Okay, it starts from 0 to how many elements are there? 0. For example, I changed it Jan. I assigned Jan to 4. Then Feb will be 5, March will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. After that, the compiler will increase 1 to next 1. That means first I have assigned 4. That if I try here, if I assign this one Jan and try to January, it will print now 4. Then we can change the order as well. For example, it is 4. I have assigned 4. For example, here. By default, we know by default it is 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 by default. And for example, for April, instead of 3, I write here 7. I assign it to 7. Now, what will happen? Now, May will be 8, 9 will be, June will be 9, July will be 10, and August will be 11. And the previous, before this May, they will be as it is. 0 for January, Feb, 1 for February, 2 for March, 3 for, 7 for April. That means we can change the ordering. We can access these elements in any order. We can change the order. Okay, I hope now that you have understood how to assign the values to this enum data structure, data type. So that we can assign the values as per our programming requirement. Now, so we can assign the values to these in any order. As I have told you that we can also use instead of enum, we can also use the macros. For example, for define max 30, we can also use macros instead of enum. But there are some differences between the enum and the macros. What the difference? For example, first difference is scope. The scope of enum is the scope of macros is global only. That means there is only a global scope. When we use this, we can use this only outside the body of the program. When the program is going to be started, we can use this hash define macro because we know that this hash is a preprocessor. We can use it. Even if we use it inside some function, even then its scope is also global. That means the scope of this macro is only global. Whereas scope of enum, so far as scope of enum is concerned, it can be both global as well as local. That means we can enum data type the scope is both global as well as local. If we use it in some specific function, the scope of that function is only within scope of that enum, that variable is only within that function. And we can also use it throughout the program if we define it outside that at the beginning of the program, outside the main function. So we can say that this is one more advantage of enum over this macros. Third one, as I have already told you, that by default the compiler assigns the values to the assign their numbers to their enum values. For example, here I will write enum month, and in January have March, April, for example, and so on. It will be 0, 1, 2 and 3. That means by default, automatically, the compiler assigns the values 0 to January, 1 to Feb, 2 to March, 3 to April. But in case of these macros, we have to explicitly assign the values to them. We can write, for example, hash define max 50. We have to assign the value with 50. Manually we have to assign. But in case of this enum, the compiler automatically assign the value starting from the 0. For example, in a program, this max will be replaced by 50. The max will be replaced by 50 because we have assigned it, or we have to assign it explicitly, manually. But in case of this enum, the compiler automatically assign the values to assign the numbers to the values of the enum, possible values to the enum. And in case of enum, for example, in case of enum, duplicating values is not possible, is not allowed. What does that mean? For example, here enum, for example, enum month, this month is the variable of type this, and I am here writing this month equal to Jan, and I am here also, here I am also declaring another variable. For example, this month, enum month, this month 1, and in that variable I am declaring again Jan. It is not possible. We cannot assign duplicate values in an enum. Yes, we can assign here as well. Not Jan. That is duplicating. In enum we cannot use duplicate values. In enum we cannot use duplicate values in the same scope, because the scope of this enum is within this function only. It is a local scope. The variable is within this function. So we cannot duplicate there. We cannot use the duplicate values in this case. So now I hope that now you have understood what is enum, why do we need enum, why is enum advantageous over the macros. And one point is more about enum. For example, if in enum we have a data type we have data type x equal to 0, y equal to 1. It is possible, it is correct. For example, if I write here x equal to 0, y equal to 5.4, it is wrong, because enum assigns only the integral values, not these floating point values. Floating point values are not allowed in case of enum. We cannot assign these variables of enum duplicate values, these floating point values. Here only the integral values are allowed to assign to the variables of enum data type. And enum is also useful in switch case statements. We can use enum also in the switch case statements. So I now hope that you now understood what is enum, why do we need enum, what are the uses of enum, why is enum advantageous than these macros. Everything regarding the enum I have now discussed it in this video, and inshallah in the next video we will discuss some more concepts of C. Till the next video, take care. Bye bye.